it happened literally overnight. Really within a couple of days, we were hearing, right, potentially we are going to be going into lockdown. So I think we closed the doors on the March 23rd. Now, certainly for the first few weeks, things were very quiet. We were all a bit unsure what is going to happen. But then my view was, right, try to look at the positive side. People were getting, 3 months mortgage holidays. I thought to myself, right, okay, so there's financial help there. So over lockdown, yet again, none of us knew how long we're going to be in lockdown. If it was going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, people might be thinking, well, I'm getting fed up looking at the same four walls. I actually fancy a change. And I had thought to myself, and I had suggested that that would happen when lockdown was lifted, that there would be a big rush. Now, the very interesting thing that we find here at Williams, weeks prior to lockdown being lifted, we were immensely busy. And we were actually selling homes without people even going to look at them. I sold one particular home where a gentleman didn't go to look at it, and he got into a bit more and went £20,000 over the asking price. And these were substantial houses. These weren't houses that were at the lower end where maybe an investor was buying. So it was giving us really positive vibes that things were very much on the up. So when lockdown was over, the thing that surprised me was that prices actually went up. So they didn't dip where a lot of people thought that they would. I didn't think they would dip, but I wasn't expecting the growth over lockdown. And since we've been open now 3 weeks, there genuinely hasn't been a spare second in our office where there has been people constantly inquiring about properties, viewings, people wanting valuations, those people who were wanting to list their homes just before lockdown, boom, as soon as our doors opened, they listed their houses, and the demand has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and so do you think this was maybe something we needed for the housing market? Had it been as busy beforehand, or has this increased or helped it along?
There's no doubt about it. Certainly over the past 3-4 years. I mean, it's a totally different market the way it was at the time of the recession in 2008. The market was great. But my goodness me, this lockdown, for some reason, has just created an absolute stampede of people looking for properties and looking to sell. And so it has been incredibly healthy for the property market due to the demand.
And so what changes have you seen in this new normal where, as you're saying, it's handy that maybe if you're not even having to show the house before it's viewed, but obviously there's a lot more different techniques that people have learned over lockdown to facilitate people still being able to see maybe more than just a photo and things like that to see what they're buying.
Over lockdown, in relation to how we were able to publicise properties, the massive winner for us was our social media. I'm glad to say my social media, I feel, is the most interactive amongst every other property agent, if I may be as bold to say so, because we were getting an awful lot of interaction. And people were very aware that, I suppose we were quite famous for putting the property on our social media, and then literally within days it could be gone. So people were being smart by looking at our page frequently, knowing that if they didn't look at it almost daily, they were going to miss out. So, and because I was always managing the social media myself, it was irrelevant what time of the day somebody would contact Williams Estate Agents. The only time they wouldn't get a reply is when I'm eating or when I'm sleeping. So people were getting responses very quickly, and were able to get deals done very quickly. So yes, lockdown, we couldn't literally do physical viewings, but we were able still to sell, which was very, very helpful.
So you were kind of already ahead of the curve. You're already well known on social media prior to that, and you'd done a lot of work with social media, perhaps were more traditional.
Yeah.
estate agents probably wouldn't have done before.
Sure. Well, that's one thing you definitely can say about Williams. We're not traditional. You know, we don't follow the crowd. We're not a sheep. I definitely feel we lead the way in relation to today's marketing. And you have to look at today's marketing and the future of marketing. You have to know who your audience is. And I think we're able to recognise that very well. Now, yes, I am pretty well known on social media, and the general feedback I get is that people do like the approach. I think it's important that, you know, your customer likes to get to see the real person. I don't like to see myself as a suit, if you know what I mean. I like people to see, right, okay, well, they're actually dealing with a person and not the everyday, ordinary, slightly grey businessman, because that's not what Williams is.
And so, what kind of firstly, what kind of buyer and what kind of properties are the ones that are being snapped up really quickly at the moment?
There isn't actually any particular property where I could say to you, that's the price bracket where all the houses are going for. You know, the houses from 100,000 or 250,000, they're the big sellers. The very interesting thing is whether it's a house where it's just four walls and about to fall down around the place where a builder would buy that type of thing, or whether it's something rather quite substantial at hundreds of thousands of pounds, the buyers are there. So there's not a specific price tag where I would say, right, okay, well, our bread and butter is a house at 150,000, because that's not the case. It's right across. Every price tag just seems to be selling.
And what about, I suppose, one of the big talking points for property at the minute is young people trying to purchase property.
Yes.
Do you think that has been helped Scarborough changed at all in the last, well, even pre-lockdown, I suppose, with lockdown included as well?
There hasn't been any change, truthfully. The only change I have seen, there's no change in a particular type of buyer, whether it's a younger person looking for their first home, or whether it's for those who are looking to go into something smaller for retirement. It has not changed. It's still the same. The thing that has changed has been a significant lift in the property market. You know, I thought it would happen. I was right. It did happen, but I wasn't expecting the growth that has happened over lockdown. That has been really quite unusual. But yes, everything looking forward, we hope it stays the same. It is down to everybody following the government guidelines. And if we do that, then I think we are long term still going to be healthy.